From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, February 1st, 2021. We're going to start off with the satellite picture here. It's got a glitch on the very first little image there on the animation, but we can deal with that because the pattern is still visible here. We've got a trough off the Pacific coast. We've got a ridge upstream here that's moved into part of the Canadian Prairie, and we've got another big trough here across the northeastern United States that's dumping a ton of snow across New England today. And we flip it over, look at the radar with the ridge of high pressure across the region. We are quiet right now, but we do have a couple opportunities for some light snow across the prairie. The potential for some more accumulating snow as well, and some deeper cold, especially as we get into the weekend and next week. Now we'll get right to the high-resolution NAM model. This will help us pick out these snow chances here. First off to the north. Again, we'll be quiet for the day today, even some sunshine possible, especially across southern portions of the prairie. This is now Monday night. This is getting into Tuesday morning. So as we get into Monday night, Tuesday morning, across central portions of Alberta into central Saskatchewan, maybe Peace River over toward Edmonton, over towards Saskatoon, the chance for some very light snow flurries, again, Monday night into Tuesday morning. Let's take it into Tuesday afternoon now, and then eventually Tuesday evening. This lead disturbance now lifting into northern portions of Manitoba. Not likely to see any snow from this across southwest or southeastern portions of Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba. Now, when we will see some snow across those areas, we get this frontal boundary kind of extended back across this region, bring another little subtle wave over the top of that, and we kind of reignite precipitation along that boundary as we get into the day on Wednesday. So Wednesday morning into midday Wednesday, a chance here for some snow to redevelop across southern portions of Saskatchewan, from Saskatoon down to Regina over toward the Weyburn area, and then we'll move that into southern Manitoba as we get later into the day Wednesday into Wednesday night. Now, the NAM is fairly robust with its forecast snow across southern portions of Manitoba, but it kind of stands alone with that really heavy solution there. I think we're going to get some accumulating snow across that region, but when we look at the totals from the NAM model, again, we're talking about 20 centimeters of snow being spit out in the Winnipeg area here from this system. But then if I flip it over and we take a look at, before I do that first, I do want to say that I do agree with what we're seeing back toward this area, and that is, again, corridor here of maybe 5 to 15 centimeters of snow. Kind of, again, that Peace River to Edmonton to probably north of Saskatoon line, and then trace amounts back across this region, southern Alberta into southern and southwestern Saskatchewan. But again, back to the blob here across southern Manitoba, let's take a look at what the European model has. And when we do that, we see much more, I think, realistic amounts at this point. Again, between 5 to 15 centimeters, probably right around 10 centimeters in this corridor, kind of from southwest Saskatchewan into the Brandon area, into the Winnipeg area. And then on the right side, I've got the European ensemble probability of getting more than 3 inches, more than 7.5 centimeters of snow between now and Thursday evening. And again, the European ensemble, when we take all 50 members here, we get pretty low odds here of getting in excess of 7.5 centimeters or 3 inches of snow. Someone may do that. It's going to be a very narrow focused band, though, where we see that heavier 10, 15, probably not 20 centimeters of snow. We can look even deeper. I'll show you here. This is to reveal a little bit of the details, or a little bit of what I'm looking at each and every day. You know, I mentioned when we take all 50 members of the European ensemble run, well, here are half of those. Here's 25 of them. And again, you're looking for, the darker purple shading here would be where we transition from 6 inches to 15 centimeters. And again, this is the region that we're looking, southern Manitoba. You're looking at all of these individual runs, all 25. And as I'm glancing at it now, I don't see any that have the 6 inches or more, the 15 centimeters or more. I looked at the other half of this, runs 26 through 50, and there was, I think, one where you could find that purple shading. So again, the NAM has its idea here, 15 to 20, maybe more centimeters of snow here with this disturbance across southern Manitoba. But when we look at some of our most reliable models to kind of support that, it does stand alone. So be sure to just check back here. I'll have, your morning audio blurbs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we can kind of track this. And certainly, if the other models begin to bend toward the NAM and suggest higher snow in this area, I'll be sure to let you know that. So let's take a look at how it happens then. We're looking at the European operational run then. We'll see both rounds of snow make their way in. First, high pressure across the region, quiet start to the week. It'll be quiet as we get into Monday night, and now Tuesday into Tuesday night and Wednesday. Here's that north snow here, Tuesday into Wednesday. Whoop, I'm going to lose my connection here to the iPad that I'm drawing on. There we go. We'll reconnect. All right. It's fun doing the videos now. I get used to doing the audio clips here, and now the video, it takes a little more multitasking here, a little more concentration, so I got to remember how to do this each Monday for you. So now let's take a look here, late Wednesday into Thursday. Here's that second round. So the first round comes in here. The area of low pressure goes into northern Manitoba as we get into Wednesday morning. We still have the front extending back this way, though. And then we get another little disturbance to come over the top of that. Reignites the little plume of snow there from southwest Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba late in the day on Wednesday. Now on the backside, this is going to open up the floodgates to allow some very cold air to start to shift into the prairie. It's going to set up a pattern here where we get northwest to southeast moving clipper systems here. It's going to bring the chance for accumulating snow every few days, at least light shots of that, but I think the heaviest snow as we get to the other side of this week, into the weekend and next week, it's going to be found here up against the Rocky Mountains here across portions of Alberta. So here's the 500 millibar heights and vorticity plots. So we look at areas of vorticity here, and where we are advecting these areas of higher vorticity, that's where we get the cloud cover and precipitation. So the reason I want to show you this, a couple of them here. First, you see the little disturbance. This is the one that kicks off the snow here Tuesday night into Wednesday off to the north. And then you just see a subtle little piece come over the top of that here as we get into late Wednesday into Thursday. That's what helps kind of reignite the snow across the region. Then you see the pattern change. You know, initially, now we've got this southwest flow as we get the week started. That's why we're a little bit more mild. As we get to the other side of this system, though, the trough moves through. Now we've got northwest flow across the region. That is what is going to help shift us towards a much colder pattern as we get into the weekend and early next week. Taking a look at the jet stream winds then, one more piece to the story. We can take this back to today. Southwest flow across the region. Take it into the other side of our weekend disturbance, which can be found right here. There's little ripples within the flow. It does not take much this time of year to kick off a little bit of snow. The trough swings through. The main piece of this trough, or the main leg of that, is actually going to dip across the Rockies into the central United States. But then on the backside, it's just going to be a kind of a conveyor belt here of disturbances and northwest flow coming across the Canadian Prairie, delivering much colder air. We can see the transition here as we go into the weekend and next week. It does look like the coldest air peaks across the region as we get into the weekend and early next week. So I would bet Saturday through Tuesday going to be the coldest time period here across the Canadian Prairie. The good news is this does not look like a pattern that's going to set up for, 1 to 3 weeks or something like that. I'm not promising you a transition towards a mild finish in February, but what we're seeing here is a shot of Arctic air with the pattern continuing to be progressive, potentially warming up again, or kind of moderating on the backside here as we get to the back half of next week. So kind of taking a look at week 1 and week 2 then. Here is week 1. So we talk about temperatures on the left. The theme this week, colder air begins to invade late week. Couple chances for snow, first to the north, second from southwest Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. And then as we look at, this is now week 2, talking about temperatures on the left, the cold has invaded next week. And then as we talk about precipitation, pretty much uniform chances for average snowfall across the region with these clippers moving through. But I mentioned, I think if there's going to be a chance for excess snow as we talk about next week, it's going to be found closer to the Rockies here across western and southern portions of Alberta. High pressure across the region. That's going to lead to a flow clockwise here, and we'll get some upslope flow coming around the backside of that high, and that's how you end up with some of the heavier mountain snows. We'll finish with a look at some temperatures here over some select cities over the next 10 days. Calgary, you don't quite feel the influence from the shot of cold air quite as much as some of our further east locations. So Medicine Hat, here's your next 10 days. Take a look at this in Saskatoon, though, from a high of -3 tomorrow all the way down to -24 for your high on Saturday. Same thing here in Regina, -24 for the high. Lows this weekend touching -30. And then in Winnipeg, you got -2 today, -2 on Wednesday, all the way down to -22, -24 for your highs on Saturday. And again, most locations, you're going to feel the brunt of it here over the weekend into early next week. Again, I'll be back on Tuesday morning with a little blurb here. We'll check in on the chances for some snow and much colder air invading over the weekend into early next week. Have a wonderful Monday and a great start to your week.